You all get a bird. This Oprah. Layers in ball shorts, coaching from the side of the ball court. If you know, you know. One stop like a Walmart. We got the for the wrong sport.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw here. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Off of play action, Darnold on the move to his left. He's letting this one go for Fuller. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. Will Fuller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, look at that. Oh, now he bowls him over. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
After the interception, here's Darnold. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sheldon Richardson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Detroit!
Faking the give, Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Gone!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Gone!
They'll set up to throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. Now, how would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Buying time to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Justin Watson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears will extend their lead. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him. His 2nd sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Leonard Floyd, and they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That is caught at the 7. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears add on. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
That's fielded in the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Darnold now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20, 10, 5. And oh so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 82 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Corey Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with a Viking. to throw. They'll roll him out right. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle this time to Fowler. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. No gain, and it's second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's nothing but pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Gun!
on 2nd and 10. Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. 23 yards on the play. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They go play action here on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He gets him moving forward. But they'll still be left with 14 yards to go on 3rd. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively.
Gun!
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Darnold from the gun. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
No. Check. Patriot.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, Darnold forced out to his left. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. Looking right sideline. That's complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Colby Listenbee, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears add on.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to do.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Tight right. 4 down. Detroit!
A final shot before the break. Darnold. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. You sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch 9. Watch 9. Over.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And I think the ball's out. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the 1st half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Detroit!
Now back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll set up to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And out now come the Vikings. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right, and that's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Being chased out left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll look to throw. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah,
then
that's right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he's got this down to the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
And they'll run it here. Able to slither by. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now Darnold. Hard throw, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Over the middle, complete. That's Fowler. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding in the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick sixes in a game? You want to leave him out there so he can work through some of the rough stuff.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 25. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Faking the give, Darnold. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Watch it now, Barney!
This is Howard on 2nd down. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys are just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, it was a great...
Count, cause I'm 2 up right now. 2 up right now. I'm two on one day on my third. I was 2 broke, now I'm 2 rich. Made 100K on my third shift from a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy. Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now. Need crew love right now. Cause we 2 up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm 2 up right now, 2 up right now, yeah, I'm 2 up, round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters, threw up, brother went to jail for them, told me you up, first time I seen 100 bands, yeah I grew up, ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we 2 up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm 2 up right now, 2 up right now.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the know the leader. Getting out while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I'm a whoop. I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Up, downs, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Driven all sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They ain't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's to the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look, I'm very important. I took a break, had some things I had to get sorted. I might retire in my prime like I'm M. Jordan. Table dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for Vannas. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done dared every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Spieth at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just want to make enough to pay dividends. Then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
I like when birds come out. Sounds like I got seats in there. I'm on your turf again. This, that. You from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from that. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. I go to bed on bed. I got the beam on the flats. I got a in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, the man. I'm a K-back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the jungle, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I got my... I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with a... Yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman. I just go crazy, man. Ball hard, can't face, man. Choppers, rip wasteland. This what happens when you give it a taste life and you give it a wasteland. This what happens when you give it a fake life and then the aping. I like when birds come out. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that. You from the back of the... I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle shit. I like when birds come out. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that. You from the back of the... I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle shit.
They call a podcast Poppy. King goes, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop home, gave me the choke code. I be out on